Well, friends, after finishing the theoretical concept whether to buy or sell future contract, now we are going with this example and will digest the concept. So, for that reason, I have taken this example. Let's say a particular stock or share price is 900 rupees in spot market, that is cash market. So, that is denoted as S. S for spot or cash market price. So if you want to buy this share in delivery base, then it will cost you 900 rupees right now. Fine. Okay. The interest rate prevailing in the market is rupees 8%. Time duration of the contract is 2 months. You know that when you enter into derivative market, the contracts are available for different months, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, like that. So for this example, I have taken 2 months contract period or 2 months duration. Even one more element, dividend. Dividend is 6 rupees. Why I have taken dividend? I will explain you. But dividend is 6 rupees. And what we have discussed earlier in the theoretical concept, market price or contract price, which is also denoted as X, which is 800, the price at which you will enter into contract, as well as this is the price at which the execution will be made on settlement. Dear friends, do remember always, the contract price is always the price at which the execution or settlement will be made. Now first, we need to understand fair value, as I've said in that case also. So in example only we'll understand. So fair value of the future contract is nothing but equal to spot price plus carrying cost minus dividend. This is a basic formula. Other formulas are also there, but this is a basic formula to understand this strategy. Spot price, that is nothing but cash price. Why we have taken spot price in the formula, that we need to understand. Then why we have added carrying cost in the spot price, that we have to understand. And finally why we have deducted dividend, that we have to understand. So first we'll take spot. As you are going to enter into future contract, our fund will not be blocked. Our fund will not be blocked. That is nothing but when you enter into derivative contract, you are not supposed to pay the spot price because it's not a cash market. It's not a cash market. So this is a benefit in the derivative contract or market, that you are not supposed to pay the amount or invest, rather you can say. So to that extent, we don't have any cash outflow. So in short, I have written no cash outflow. COF, that is no cash outflow. So 900 rupees we can save by entering into future contract right now. Now why we have added carrying cost? Understood? Right? Still again repeating, by entering into future contract, our fund will not be blocked. That is, we are not supposed to pay 900 rupees. So to that extent, our bank balance will not be decrease. Now carrying cost. As our bank balance will not decrease, that is no cash outflow, we can save interest to that extent. Till what? 2 months. Why? Because after 2 months only we are supposed to pay some amount to the seller. Correct? So for that reason, we can say that by entering into derivative market, future contract, we can save interest if we are buyer, right? Now the last point, dividend. Why we need to deduct? Okay. Have you purchased share physically, that is in cash market, or you have entered into derivative contract, friends? What? Yes. You have not purchased share. You have not entered into cash market. You have entered into future derivative market. So for that reason, as you don't have share, how will you get dividend, friends? You don't have share, then how will you get dividend? So that's why this dividend will be deducted. Fine, because it will be your loss. This is called opportunity cost, right? And this will be your future loss because you are not going to purchase the share, you are going to lose the dividend. So rupees 6 dividend I have written, that is the thing, but it is expected that after 2 months on this share, the company is going to pay rupees 6 dividend, but you will not receive it. So you will deduct it. This is opportunity cost, this is gain. In terms of cost, we need to add it into spot price. So don't get confused that sir is saying cost and then gain, nothing. Simple understanding is this is not our outflow, that's why we can save interest, but as we don't have share, this is our loss. Fine. Okay. Now come to the fair value. First we'll find out it and then we'll proceed. So fair value according to this example is equal to 900 plus carrying cost, that is interest cost, minus dividend. So accordingly it will be 906. Once again I am repeating. No doubt this is our gain, but in a different manner if I explain, I will say it is opportunity cost. So one side it is cost, one side it is gain. From whose point of view you are thinking, that is important. And accordingly I have taken buyer. That as a buyer we are supposed to save this money. As a buyer we are supposed to save the interest. And as we are buyer of future contract, we are not going to get dividend. That's why it is our loss. Fine. So next, fair value. Fair value we have determined. This is simple interest. Otherwise interest can be calculated based on compounding as well as continuous compounding also, but I have taken simple interest rate. So accordingly in total 906 will be the fair value. Now 6 rupees directly we have deducted. Don't make it proportionate. Why? Company is going to give you 6 rupees in total whether you hold this share for 2 months, 1 month or whatsoever, because before the declaration of dividend, if you have the share, then definitely the dividend whole amount you are going to get it. So that's the reason why in this case we have taken directly 6 rupees which you are not going to receive. Fair enough? Done? Okay. Now the next point. After getting fair value, we will compare it with the market price of the future contract, which is 800 rupees, and you can see that 800 rupees market price of the future contract is less than fair value. That's why it is called undervalued. It is called undervalued contract. So that is, it is available at a lower price in the future market compared to its present worth. So this is present worth. The price of the future contract should have been 906, but somehow it is available in the market at 800 rupees. So what you do? Definitely you will buy it. So buy future contract at 800 rupees. That is the market price at which you will buy. And the execution will also be made at 800 only. Okay. And by buying this future contract, you will get short profit of 106. Now you will wonder, how sir has got 106 rupees profit? So for that I will go for explanation. Barabar? Fine, but otherwise you can say that by entering into future contract, you will get short profit of 106. And the last element is hedging. As we have entered into future contract of buying, take the opposite action in the cash market. Take the opposite action in the cash market. So by doing that, we will sell share. We will sell share in cash market. We will sell in share in cash market, that is spot market. At what price? Spot price, obviously 900 rupees. So these are the steps we need to follow, which I had written in first part also, that is theoretical concept. That fair value, then comparison, based on that decision will be taken, and then accordingly opposite action will be taken in the cash market, that is nothing but hedging. And with the help of this strategy, we can have short profit of 106. So now we'll go and understand how we have got 106. Here you can compare 906 and 800. So it's a difference basically between market price and fair value. But how exactly, that we'll understand. Okay. So last point was what I had written, that is sales share. When you sales share, you will get inflow of 900 rupees. What will you do with 900 rupees? Definitely will deposit. So for that reason, till what? Why we need to deposit? Because we need to form a strategy, and with the help of that strategy, we need to make some gain. So till the expiry period of 2 months, we'll deposit into bank. At what rate of interest? At 8% interest rate, and that is nothing but for 2 months. Fine. So it will be 12 rupees interest. So accordingly, maturity amount will be 9112. So at the end of expiry of 2 months, after 2 months, you will get 912 from bank. Okay, now it's time to make the settlement of the future contract. Correct? So on expiry, we need to buy the share from the seller. That is nothing but execution of the future contract will be made, and it is an obligation from both the side. You know that, right? So we need to fulfill that obligation, and accordingly we'll buy the what? Future contract at the end of 6 months. 2 months. But before that, as you know that we are not going to get this dividend, so it will be indirectly our outflow. You can understand that. That 12 rupees we are going to get, 6 rupees we are not going to get. That's why indirectly it is our outflow. So we'll deduct it first. How much we'll get? 906. So this is the net inflow. Again, what? After 2 months. And now at the time of expiry, you will pay 800 rupees. That is to execute the contract. Finally, 106 gain you can make. So this is a strategy. By forming this strategy, we can have short gain of 106 rupees prime. Fine. So just quickly once again we'll go through this. By selling share, we'll get inflow. You will deposit that money for 2 months contract period in the bank. You will get 912 from the bank. But as you don't have share, you will not receive dividend. As you are not receiving, indirectly it is your outflow, so you will deduct it. Or you can say you have to pay dividend to someone else if you have borrowed the share. If you have borrowed the share. Because see, when you are going to sell the share, maybe the doubt will not be raised, but still I need to explain that when you are going to sell share, you must have share. Correct? Then only it is possible to sell the share. So either it is available with you in your demat account, or let's say you will borrow from someone. How you can borrow, that is not the discussion right now, but you can borrow from someone and you can get it into your demat account, right? And then you can sell it. Fine. So as you borrowed it from someone, that dividend you need to pay him, because the person who is going to give you share, he will lose the money of dividend. So you need to compensate him by way of dividend. So you will pay dividend to him, right? Or rather you can say, if I have the share in my demat account, I will sell it, and I am going to sell it, I am not going to receive the dividend. So there are lots of explanation we can make for this particular point. Different ways of explanation, right? Fine. So that's why we need to deduct it. And finally, we'll get net inflow after 2 months, 906. And on expiry, we'll pay 800 rupees. That is for execution of the contract. So finally net inflow we can get 106 rupees. Right? So this is a particular strategy through which we can get gain. If the market price is different from 800, if it is higher than let's say fair value, then accordingly different strategy will be formed. Fine. But this is enough for this particular point. Thank you.